Uno mas.
Hello, stragglers.
What is up? Welcome to another episode of the NerdVibed podcast. We're back with another episode of the podcast. Uh Today on this episode I have a special guest. It's Jake. Um so what do you do for a living?
You just try to exist.
Okay.
Is that a Frosty?
Yeah.
Nice. Um. Yep, we're back with another episode today.
Yeah, we are.
I gotta review something. Uh. That may not be for the faint of heart.
The EDP thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as you said that the faint of heart, I was like, that can only mean like one thing that happened recently.
The big documentary drop. Did you watch it?
I did.
God.
Yeah.
Ugh. So we can talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say up front.
Because I
That
think
was one of the hardest documentaries to watch.
I'm like more familiar with like EDP than you are, I would imagine. Because I think I've known about him for like almost a decade.
I just knew him from reaction clips and
Yeah.
uh I that was one of the it was so funny. So I was trying to watch it on my TV and it said like I use like the guest account because I don't want any like save data, I guess, on my like TV. So
Mm-hmm.
it said when I try to watch it, it said, "Oh, you need age verification." So I'm like, "Okay." And then what did you
I dropped some. I'm eating an Oreo pasty right now.
um
So what? You had to like make an alternate account or something?
yeah, I used one of the accounts and then I had to, do the age verification and then I could watch it.
You know, anytime you need to do that, you can use the NerdVibed account, right? I could care less.
I didn't have to do anything. I didn't do like the Face ID because I'm like, I'm not doing that shit.
I had to do that for the NerdVibed account when I woke
I
up.
just gave them my credit card
Yeah, did.
and that went through. So
I think when I this is off topic, but relating to the ID, I think it was this past week when I woke up and probably last week when I woke up and YouTube sent us an email saying like you gotta verify your face or else you can't have these little things that are pretty basic to have for a YouTube channel. And I was like, what the fuck? So I had to like with my groggy ass face do a face verification. And I was like, this is fucking bullshit. So yeah.
yeah, so I set that all up and then I watched it and like I said, that was probably one of the hardest documentaries to watch. I almost threw up a few times.
I did too, specifically whenever EDP was on screen.
Yeah.
I'm used to like catching stuff. I think there was like one or two instances when I was like, whoa, that's a
No,
that's a little much.
I was like visibly gagging because they do like the dramatic reads of the text messages.
Yeah.
They show the picture, well, not the actual, but they pixelate them, but
Mm-hmm.
you know what it is, you know, and that made me sick too. This like god damn, like that was so. I guess we're gonna, if people don't know about the EDP thing, we're gonna have to let them know
I don't know
who doesn't,
how you
but
wouldn't
we
know.
might have to.
I
In
guess
case
we'll
there's somebody.
I guess we'll spend 30 seconds doing a run back.
Right.
EDP was a funny fat man who was an Eagles fan who made very expressive and loud videos raging and just being goofy. People used him as reaction images and memes and videos. And then back in 2021, he got exposed for trying to meet a 13-year-old girl, sexing her, sent her shit pics. Not just dick pics, shit pics as well.
Yeah. No, no,
Which
no. And the funny thing in the document, he doesn't even do that to underage. He just does that to anybody. Yeah. And they're like,
he sent it to Mike Lum himself.
yeah.
It might come in one of the scenes had like a ton of shit pictures on his bed sheet, not knowing what to do with them. Like it was like crucial evidence.
It's so gross.
If like you could get like a felony for like sending a shit pic to somebody, he would like have life in prison. Like honest to God,
Yeah, and then not too long after that, he got
he
caught
got
again.
he
Caught
got caught
again.
by
I have
Gideon,
a
and
lot to say about that second investigation because good God, like that, like I knew they had good intentions, but who in their right mind would be like, yeah, let's use an actual 15-year-old as a decoy?
yeah, I a few months ago, I was I think I started to kind of be like the Gideon is starting to get a little too rambunctious with all this. Um and like this is insane, like, you know, oh, like he was a 15-year-old, like this has already been like a known fact. Um but I honestly, it was not basic knowledge to me. I'm not gonna lie. But um I think Gideon in general, you know, I just hate how he orchestrates, because I've watched a lot of his thread catches on his channel. Whenever a new upload, because it's like one of my guilty pleasures. I'm subscribed to both Gideon and Skeeter Gene, and I watch the content, especially used to, like not even that long ago, and I hate when they play it up. Gideon does it so much. Skeeter does it a little bit, but just the way that Gideon kind of goes about things in his videos. He used to be like a prankster. He still acts like a prankster. He still has
I
like a
mean,
prankster mentality in his pet catches, which is like,
yeah,
you know how damning that is for
yeah,
your investigation if you're just gonna like
yeah.
do shits and
I'm gonna
giggles.
dress up as a cupcake in front of EDP. Like,
Yeah, like I
it,
understand that like you're like a content creator and you like to entertain people and just be silly, but like if like you want to venture out into predator catching, there's a time and a place to be silly, and it's during none of your investigations.
there's a time to be silly, and it's never the time at all.
Never the time when you're doing these kinds of things with predator catching. So yeah, I mean,
I just
yeah,
and they try to do this whole like who's telling the truth on the situation, and I'm just like the 15-year-old should not have been in this at all. Like,
mm,
who's telling the truth? Who's is she telling the truth that he was pressuring her? Is he telling the truth that he said you can stop whenever you want to? Is EDP telling the truth that she sent him nudes? And here's my thing: they should have never approached a 15-year-old or have this or agreed with the 15-year-old to ch- talk to a literal predator.
I
That
watched
that doesn't make sense to me. It's so unethical to me.
okay, I watched Gideon's video. He did a response, and I didn't watch the full thing. I'm pretty sure, but I watched like the first half, and there's pretty damning evidence against the girl Kayla, where she was like, you know, anytime she brought up how EDP was messaging her, literally the entire chat was just kind of like, stop messaging him, like block him. But Kayla was always just like, you know, I'm gonna keep going. Like I'm gonna just keep doing this. Like, should I like try and do like this as an investigation? Like she was trying to like egg herself on to like try and do this herself. So
I get it, but again, she should have never
you
been
can
there in the first
you can
place.
obviously make the argument like, hey Gideon, like maybe it's best not to like invite EDP to your public server where there could easily be children. That's his fault in that situation. But as far as I'm concerned, he and others in his server literally asked her multiple times and told her multiple times to stop messaging him, but she continued. Um, and she said herself, in a video where it was part of the documentary, like she's an opportunist, where
Yeah.
like if an opportunity presents itself, like
Hmm.
to go for it, that you know that's not the greatest thing to say when you're trying to make an argument where like you know you're trying to say that like you were used for this case when you didn't want to be. Like you could have easily said no the whole time, and you know you would have been just fine. I don't think that they would have egged you on to go
Yeah.
on.
Just, yeah. I again, it's just I if I'm like catching a predator and an actual child is like, I want to help. It's like no, 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 no,
Yeah.
no. So I do hear what you're saying, but again, I this should ethically and logically speaking, she should have never done anything at at all, and they shouldn't have just said no, don't do it at the very start. They should not have. They shouldn't have just had an actual adult. If they needed a decoy, they shouldn't have just gotten an actual adult to do it. I'm just saying, it's just someone. It's just very unethical to me.
Like I said, I didn't watch the entire video, but I'm pretty sure Gideon himself said, like, stop. Gideon himself said to not do it, and she kept going. Like they could not get her to stop. But
Yeah, it's just. I guess it's just one of those situations that it's just kind of ugly all around. I guess.
yeah, I mean,
And at least with the first case, at least the guy, at least in the documentary, seemed to be like, yeah, we fucked up.
who Alex Ozen?
Yeah, at least
That
the
guy's a
first.
massive piece of shit. Don't like
All right.
don't give him props. He's like a massive piece of shit hypocrite. Like he has a lot of arrests, but he does not give a single fuck about actually protecting kids. You know the rundown with Alex Ozen? He he's like an edgy man where he used to be like before he did packages, I'm pretty sure he went in like public and was like, I have like a little girl trapped in my basement to like random strangers, and just has lots of like great leading point of views, just openly racist. Um, what else? He defended a a an in real life streamer named Chud the Builder, who is basically known for being racist in public, where he goes out into like just very public settings and instigates situations with black people, and it's just like, hey, don't chimp out on me, like don't like be violent towards me, like, and he will say the n-word multiple times to these people. um and there's a situation where other people that got arrested, and Alex Rosen defended him. He donated uh $100,000 for his bail.
All right.
And in a Twitter call, if I remember correctly, he said he didn't care about. I forgot, but in Land's terms, essentially what he said, I could care less about these prayer catchers. That does not matter to me compared to this free speech and protecting the free speech of Chud the Builder. That's essentially what he said.
Thank you for context. I did not know any of this.
There's a lot of things you don't know, and I wish that whenever I spoke or tried to talk, that you would be like, "Oh, great, Matt is going to save my future career." Like, Shun the Builder is a genuinely terrible person, but I understand that not everyone knows the lore behind Alex Ozen at all. I used to be slightly okay with him, like, but you know, it's not like I disregarded his past situations or controversies. It was just kind of like, all right, well, as long as he doesn't do something like blatantly ridiculous or just like fucked up or stupid, then like whatever. But then the builder situation happened, and I was like, oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? So yeah, I mean,
Do you and to get to more about this documentary. Another aspect that really pissed me off was the whole segment where EDP somehow got a girlfriend
Yeah.
briefly, and that made me mad. That actually had me like, maybe I should kill myself tonight. Like,
Yeah.
like, and it also creeped me the fuck out that he's on Facebook dating, because I'm like, dude, if I like get a new like to match with friends and I see that fucker, I'm telling everybody about it. I'm screenshotting it. I'm telling it to everybody.
EDP wanted to be a friend on Facebook dating
Yeah, that'd be so.
would
Yeah,
be like a reason to like throw my phone and break it.
yeah,
Like, yeah,
yeah. It's over.
I'm
It's over.
deleting this app.
Yeah,
I think
I'm deleting.
Facebook as a whole is
Yeah,
bad for me.
I'm deleting my account.
I'll start
Yeah,
over.
yeah, like not anymore. Like, yeah, and then it's just the way they cut it was just so like he's like, oh, she makes me so happy, was all happy, and then next scene, so what's her face like over
Yeah.
here? What's her name? Forgot her name. I was like, whoa, what
You
happened?
know, so a shitty thing I'll have to say is, he's a shitty person, obviously, but
Yeah,
like he is so unintentionally funny, and it
yeah,
sucks so badly.
yeah. There was some moments I did laugh when he was like, I was just on the a few moments ago, just so
Like
casually, like,
it sucks, but
yeah,
also whatever, I guess. Like he's a lost cause. Like it's weird because like he just goes flip flop, where it's like he literally, tries doubling down and being like, hey, whatever. It's like, I don't care how old you are, I will fuck the shit out of your pussy. But then, like, and like 10 minutes later, when Mike Klum is talking to him, he'll be like, yeah, like, I know what I did was wrong. But, like,
oh yeah, I'm going to therapy, and then it's like he never went back to
yeah,
therapy.
yeah.
He's just always just changing his mind about like, but yeah, that whole segment with the girlfriend thing was crazy and a little made me a little mad. That somehow EDP, and let's be honest, and they said it. We all know why he broke up with her.
Yeah.
Because she didn't want to have sex.
Yeah.
That's why he dumped her. And I think she deserves better than that. And that is just
I, I'm going to have to respectfully disagree with you on that.
why.
Because she literally defended him.
Well, to be fair,
Maybe she
it's
doesn't
the
know the whole
honeymoon, the
situation.
bias. There's probably and there's like the bias, and like but that's just with people. That's just always with people. If you tell something, oh, they did something so horrible, they're like, what? Like, no, that's not the person. That's just a normal human thing. And then
There's so
by
much
now,
evidence, though, of like shit online. If like a big black fat man is just like telling you, like, hey, yeah, like I got like caught up in this shit with like a child back then. All you have to do is search up like big fat internet man gets caught trying to fuck a child, then you'll see EDP in like the first Google thing, like the first result, pretty much. Like, I don't know. I just think like, especially during the documentary, when like Mike probably explained the situation to Marissa in full if she hadn't known before, like
yeah, that's
I
true.
don't feel bad really for her. Like there's better people to date, especially when he tells you like, yeah, like I got caught up in like
Oh
a
yeah,
controversy.
yeah. I'm remembering now. Yeah. Yeah.
Like
That's. Uh, yeah.
I just don't feel any remorse for her, like at all. Like, and I was obviously feeling like, you know, had she somehow not known before the documentary, because very much that he himself probably will not tell Marissa that he had been caught up in that situation prior to Mike being like, "Hey, can I make this documentary?" Then Mike probably had to tell Marissa like, "Hey, here's why we're doing a documentary with a boyfriend." You would think that she would do like some research had Mike told her. And that's like at the very least, right? So I just think it's
Yeah, I
impossible
get it.
for her not to be like somehow know anything, I guess.
But I do still believe that is a really shitty way to break up with somebody,
Oh,
though.
it is.
That dude's, yeah. It's, yeah, it was so, like, like, he's just, he's like the final boss of, like, Gooners. Like,
Yeah.
he's just, like, he's just, like,
He also made sure to specify how many times he was not gay.
yeah.
He's like, I'm not gay. I'm not on Grinder because that's faggot shit. It's like, okay, we get it. This is like the seventh time you brought up Grinder not being gay. We entirely understand that
Well,
you're not gay.
well, probably the funniest part, one of the funniest parts of the whole documentary was, his, the people he looks up to.
Yeah. What a
Andrew
whole
Tate,
just
Trump, Tate, Musk,
a
just
whole bunch of folks found in kitchen. Really. This Epstein's
man.
Island meetup, pretty much.
Yeah, you can make the whole I got caught uh doing terrible shit to right leaning pipeline.
Right. Literally everyone was like right leaning on his boat. And like more
I
than
know,
half of them were like pedophiles or
and
like
he's like, we're piece of
whatever.
shits.
Yeah, just
I know
all over
I
the
love how
place.
he glazes Andrew Tate so much, but it's like, dude, if Andrew Tate saw that man in public, he would literally call him a fat fuck to his face
Yeah.
and make him cry. Like, it's not even about like the allegations. No, if he just saw an overweight black man, he would just like call him a fat fuck right to his face and make EDP cry.
You're right.
So, and then that the AI generated poster is also so funny. That's in his fucking room.
Oh yeah, that was great to see.
That's what
A,
it's like
a
to be
grown ass man having posters of other man looking
that.
tough.
Not gay.
Yeah, like
Not
you
gay.
have a bunch of fucking posters hanging in your room and you're not gay, okay, bro. Whatever. Even if it was like spurt shit,
Yeah.
really. Like,
Yeah, you can do the whole like I got accused of, you know, doing something terrible to being like a right-leaning manosphere pipeline.
yeah.
Because it's clearly just, because it seems to be in his mind. It's like, it's not my fault. It's the women's fault. It's
Yeah.
those little girls' fault. Um, but then since he does not have a real physical girlfriend anymore, we get a revelation that is, which will mean, which for everyone else, this is like the sign to not do it. He's delving into the AI girlfriend scene.
Yeah.
Um, so if you don't want to be like EDP, don't do it.
Mm.
Oh man, and I love how it's just so casual, and then he's like, he didn't want to show like Mike, right? Like this one thing, and he's like, why didn't you want to show me? And he's just like, oh yeah, we're doing this like thing that she's like 16.
No, when
Yeah.
he was 17.
No, they were doing like this role play that the AI girlfriend was like 17.
Unless I just completely misunderstood what he said.
Yeah, he probably had like in like the prompt that she was supposed to be 17, and he just casually like tells Mike that. Because he was like trying to hide it at first, and he's like, What's?" And he's like, it's like, oh yeah, we're doing this thing that
I
like
guess
she
that
said.
makes sense. Because I don't know why he would hide the fact that he would have been 17, but I'm pretty sure that's what he said. I'm not trying to be like, no, you're wrong, but
Was it like a thing that they were like? So that's from what I'm recalling, of course. But yeah, that's kind of what predators do, anyway. But I definitely can suspect that he definitely did something with his like prompt to be like, "Be a 17-year-old girl."
yeah.
But yeah, um, so yeah, that's just a bunch of wild shit. And then it's like, obviously, there's this whole now debate of what to do with EDP, like what's should because I think what they said in the documentary, like he can still be tried next year, but
Um,
then we
I found the moment, so we'll finally be able to.
About this. Nigga, my cock is getting hard as fuck, nigga, right the fuck now. That experience with my AI girlfriend was the best fucking sexual experience I ever had in my life. Period.
Really just
gross shit.
Like, I was drooling. The role play, yeah, I mean, like sometimes, you know. What was the role play? Can you read it? Well, I mean, well, to be honest with you, dog, I ain't gonna read that shit. It's kind of like some disturbing shit, dude. What is it? It's kind of like, um, like, like pretend to be like fucking like, like 16, 17, yeah, I ain't gonna put that shit on there. Yeah. Sure.
But
yeah.
it's probably a both ways. That's like
I would imagine that he would also have a AI girlfriend. He would make 16 or
yeah.
17, but I guess there's one where he is 16 to 17 himself.
Okay. Well, yeah, and then I got a little jump scared by a couple of the interviews they gave like some content creators. I think one, and it was like the one I disagreed with was Mr. Daniel Game, who appears out of nowhere.
Yeah.
He said like, and this is where this is just my personal thing. He said that EDP was the poster child for YouTubers who turn out to be predators, and I kind of disagree with that because I would say Onision needs to be in that conversation. But I know why Keemstar didn't say that because Keemstar defended Onision and had him on Drama Alert and was basically just glazing Onision. So that's kind of where I was headed because that when all that shit went down, that was huge. All like everything that was coming out, and that how he was basically just he knew like the age of consent in like all 50 states. Like he would like drive to these states, and yeah, it was just. But that's just with me. I know probably that's what everyone's gonna agree with, but that's just for me personally. I just feel like when I just feel like Onision was just such a huge like. And to be fair, he has like three not YouTube documentary. Well, there probably are YouTube documentaries, but actual like mainstream documentaries made. Like I think like they made like two or three of them on him. So I would disagree with Keemstar, but on that one, and then Chris Chan just appears out of nowhere, just
Yeah.
like man, it's bad. You're fucked when Chris Chan out of all people is calling you a bad person and that you
Yeah.
to rot.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, probably the goat of, like, the worst person of all time on the internet. Like, one of them you could make the discussion for, like, the biggest lol cow. Like,
He
the
is
goat of lol cows.
he is the master lol.
Yeah, like, when the goat lol cow calls you, like, a terrible person, like, in his own words, and is, like, super genuine about it, like, you went fucked up completely. a lot.
Yeah, it's bad. It does
Yeah.
not look good for you, like, at all. Like it. Yeah. And but yeah, it was a very good documentary. It's just I c- and I know they were doing like all the funds are gonna help like help with like what sexual assault with the
Uh,
foundations or something. Yeah,
childvain.org.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But it's just I question if this felt exploitive. I just feel like like this man EDP is is a piece of shit human being who may be dead in the like next 2 years. Um, and that's what I was thinking because it was like should like this guy like yes these victims deserve justice, but at the same time he might die soon. Like he might die in the next like 1 to 2 years because his like fucking kidneys are failing. He goes to dialysis on a weekly basis, and he does not want to he doesn't want to save himself. Like he's just his doctors are literally telling him like, hey, like you gotta stop. Like you need a if you want a kidney transplant, you need to lose 100 pounds. And he's like, no, I'm going to McDonald's every night.
Yeah.
Like I won't not be like, and this has been going on for years. So like yeah, he might die in like the next like 1 to 2 years.
Yeah,
So
because
I know he deserves justice, but at the same time, it's just like if he wants to fucking rot and kill himself, like fucking let him. At this point, like, of course, I think he does deserve like fucking like life for all this shit, and just that he is clearly a danger to society because he literally is so open. But like, yeah, like I shoot I fucking shoot the guy who accused me. Like, I'll fucking shoot him. And then like and it's like, would you fuck the underage girl if it was legal? And he's like, yeah, of course. Like,
yeah.
it's like he's just such a gross and vile thing that it's just like I'd love for him to get justice, but at the same time, it's just like if he fucking dies in the next 2 years, I think that's also good enough. Let it be. Let him self destruct by his own hands. That makes sense.
Yeah. I wish that Alex Ozen didn't intentionally fuck up the original case, because if he was actually smart about that and he didn't care about the fucking exposure or YouTube subscribers and all that shit, then EDP would have been behind bars. But no, Alex Ozen is just a pathetic fucking greedy piece of shit. So he was able to go out there and, you know, essentially prey upon another minor.
Hey man, and like you also fucked up when Chris Hansen is calling both of those cases just absolute like shit shows.
Yeah, clown show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like it's like, yeah, like it's over.
yeah,
Like once you got the guy to say like, man, that shit's a bit like that was stupid. It was ridiculous. Like it's like shit. I'm not gonna do this anymore.
yeah. And there's been some talks of like how Chris Hansen isn't perfect either, and that he
I
did shit for money on
yeah.
his show.
Onision.
Um, especially during the Dayline days. But I don't know. I just
I do want to see that new movie with Robert
Oh
Pattinson
yeah,
as Chris
that's gonna
Hansen.
be like the movie for me that I want to see. I'm definitely very much interested in that movie. But, I just think, you know, child predator catching. Predator catching is it's just I don't think there's like a right way to do it
It's
because
yeah.
like counties are so different, towns are so different that you know
You could argue technically it's vigilante.
it's always vigilante, which police fucking hate vigilantes. Um, and especially if you're like a content creator, people are always going to say that like, yeah, you're doing this for money, even if you have the pure intentions of doing like solely based on like how you want to catch predators sincerely. Like there'll always be like doubters that you'll be like doing this for money, or oh, you're secretly a predator who's trying to save your face because you feel bad for your actions or whatever, some shit like that. It's just it's just one of those things where like you're like literally under a microscope at all times, and like you'll always have like supporters, but like you'll always have like very like at the very least like a vocal minority of like you know haters, I guess you could say, who will always find you like scummy, like a piece of shit for just like using like these kinds of situations for like your own personal um revenue gain. And it's I guess this is kind of tricky like that in a way, but you know, I don't know. I just with that all being said, you know, I won't, obviously disregard the all the actual arrests that Alex Rosen and Gideon and Skater Gene and people like them have done. Like they've all done without a doubt tremendous work in regards to that. And that's something that should be applauded. Like I'm sure that if you're a sane individual, you can obviously be like, yeah, it's good that they got those kinds of people off the streets to protect children. But the issues that I and many others have with like Gideon and Alex Ozen, and I'm even starting to be slightly annoyed with Skater Gene, who seems like the most like kind of level-headed one out of the predator catchers. Um, one of the ones that actually has done it right, because you can make an argument about like how there's a whole other group of like quote unquote child predator catchers that all they do is they bait them in like a space, like a public space, and all they do is beat them up, and they don't get police or law enforcement involved. Those are that's like the majority of the reason why people look down on predator catchers in the first place. But even, like I said, even Skater Gene, you know, sometimes irks me a little bit. His whole entire shtick, years ago when he first started was he was essentially trying to be Chris Hansen, which is like
You're not him.
that's fine. Like that's just a little gimmick, I guess, but like it's I think it's always best to just kind of be your own kind of thing. In my opinion, like it's cute, but like I think in the long run, it kind of just turns into like something corny, you know. Um, he eventually, you know, kind of grew out of that whole facade, I guess, in recent years. But you know, yeah, I mean, he, in the documentary, you can tell that Skeeter is, he's and I guess understandably so with what Chris Hansen said. When he said like it was a clown show and that he didn't want to like collaborate, like I can understand his hurtness, I guess, but also like what do you expect? Like you're a vigilante, you're like a content creator, like obviously Chris Hansen is gonna look at you and be like, I don't need to work with you. I got a whole team by myself, by my side. Like, I don't need to work with some individual who makes a mess and a mockery of my name. Was that a good Chris Hansen impression? I tried my best.
Yeah.
Did it sound like Chris Hansen was behind you?
Yeah.
I was like, you turn around and I'm just like Chris Hansen all of a sudden, like, Jakes, take a seat. You know how this looks, right? You came here to meet a 26-year-old man to do videos?
On YouTube?
You know how this looks, right? But like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just think those kinds of you know, people, they always kind of like try and play things for views, and Gideon is starting to do like fucking AI thumbnails where like he uses like actual children in the thumbnail, and it's just like, bro, Gideon is like,
he's just like using actual children for shit, huh?
I just think like Gideon has like a humiliation ritual because like he's like so like fucking like Scooter, which Scooter has like a side series I guess on his channel. Like he has like a um an uncle who kind of what's that word? He it begins with an S. he he's like over welcomed his stay at like his aunt's house. And he won't leave. Um and so like Skeeter just like records like fucking around with him, just like antagonizing him. I've never really cared about that series. I think it's just like I get the gist of it, but like it's just like always it's like if it's like real, because you could make the argument like, oh, it's just fake content, but if it's real, and that's his actual uncle, it's like, why would you make videos? Like, I understand that like he's a piece of shit, and that like he's a very violent person allegedly. But if I had an uncle like that, I probably want to be going around making videos. I kind of just want to deal with the situation in private and just kind of be embarrassed about my uncle in that situation. But there's a situation where him and Gideon, oh, Squatter, they did a
Oh,
live
there
stream.
was squad.
Yeah, his uncle is the one squatting. Um, Gideon did a live stream on his Kick because obviously it has to be on Kick.
Oh my
Yeah, he's a
god.
Kick kind of guy, which explains a lot, doesn't it?
Credibility just shot down.
Yeah, I fucking just. But
The like
yeah,
fucking worst of the worst is like on
yeah.
Kick
I
doing God knows
he
what.
he did a multi-part live stream series on his Kick where he was like essentially being like, we're live streaming until Skeeter's uncle gets kicked out for squatting at his aunt's house, and we won't end until he gets kicked out for real. And then it got to the point where like his uncle kind of fled the scene and went to McDonald's. And let's see how if I can describe this all in the 16 minutes. They go to the McDonald's and they get noticed by fans, teenager fans, by the way. Right? So this kind of goes along with Gideon using teens for
He just
his actual shit.
He loves it.
Even though I don't think the Kayla situation was, entirely his fault. You can debate. I watched his video. There seems to be a little bit of credibility towards his argument, but
I mean,
that for another time. But they were at the McDonald's, and it got to the point where like they're just causing a scene. Cops are called, and the cop showed up being like, "Hey, you have to get off this premise of McDonald's because they called you for trespassing." And Julian completely freaked the fuck out, being like, "Officer, no offense, but like, do you not have anything better to do? Like, there's like a squatter in that McDonald's," and it's like, you're literally like trespassing right now.
Squatter in the McDonald's.
And like it got to the point where, Gideon's fans were nearby and Gideon was not allowed in the McDonald's. So what he did, and the cops warned them that they couldn't go in the McDonald's, but what they did was Gideon gave two of his fans his camera, and he was like, "All right, go inside, guys. Stay safe." And as they were approaching the McDonald's, the cops saw them and they're like, "All right, just fucking arrest them." So they arrested Judeon. They arrested the fans, and Gideon completely had a meltdown where it's like, "Officer, do you know who I am? I'm a multimillionaire. I'm a multimillionaire." And like,
I fucking hate this guy.
yeah, like he was like not fighting, but like when he was like being pushed into the cop car, like he was like, "Officer, I can't fit. You're squeezing me. Like please take off my cuffs. I promise I won't run away. Like I just cannot fit generally." He loves saying generally a lot, by the way. So yeah, like when one of the body cam footage channels released that clip came out, and to this day, like a month later, plus, people still give him shit for saying that, trying to make an excuse for him having a lot of money just towards the officer as like a, a you know a good excuse to not get arrested.
Officer, you don't understand. I'm an alpha male.
Yeah, I have money, Mr. Officer.
I'm an alpha male.
Like, oh yeah, it's just, and like I think Skeeter kind of resided away from McDonald's. He is like definitely the smarter one, but like I said, there's like instances where it's just like, Jesus Christ, he didn't really trespass. He kind of like let things go and just kind of like stopped going on with the situation. It just kind of turned into like Gideon like kind of pursuing the uncle himself, which led to the entire thing. Um, which just led to him getting arrested, led to a couple of his fans getting arrested, just a lot of people getting arrested in general. Um, they were like willing to get off the property, but and that's why people don't like these guys, is because like they have all their fucking cameras out. All they see is the cameras and like a guy who is just trying to get away from them. Obviously they're gonna stab the guy. You don't know the situation with his uncle, if you're basically a normal cop, you're not gonna understand like, oh, this guy's straggling at his house or his aunt's house, like, oh man, like, we'll get him, guys, don't worry. It's like, no, they don't understand that. All they are seeing is this big black guy and a bunch of teens harassing this, older white guy. It's just silly. And, you know, I just think Gideon, you know, it's always a fucking cycle with him, it's like he just does some dumb shit constantly and he really never learns. But I don't know. It's just all silly, I guess. It's just a bunch of dumb shit.
Yeah.
I am.
I'm too employed for this kind of shit. I'm too employed for this.
I mean, the only reason I knew about this was because like I follow both of them, so like I kind of saw things as. I mean, I didn't watch the live stream. I don't go on Kick ever because I'm also employed, but
Yeah. I'm also employed.
I did know that he essentially got arrested when it happened.
I'm too employed, but I'm also not a, you know, I try not to be, a douchebag loser piece of shit. Because I feel like there's like, there's genuinely, I've never heard of someone who's like a nice person that streams on Kick.
No. It's just a cesspool of like everything wrong with humanity and like just content creation in general. I've been wanting to do a video on my commentary channel for like the longest time, where it's like it was like a weird fucking prison stream, like people like acting as like prisoners, and like a woman cop or whatever just pretending to be a cop was like, I don't know, I didn't watch the full clip, but I just kind of like skimmed through the video, and like essentially like she was just like kind of like harassing this one girl to the point where like the girl was literally like she began to like scream and shout and just being like fuck you, like fuck you, I fucking hate you. She had to like be pulled out of the room. Like it's fucked. Like Kick is just like it's so fucked. It's just like only like degenerate losers watch it and think it's cool.
Asmongold is on there.
Of course he is.
Yeah.
He's a fucking right winger. Yeah.
Loser, yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know.
I know, and yeah, him, like, a bunch of fucking piece of shits.
Fucking Neon, fucking Sneeko.
Yeah.
Just all those fucking losers are on that fucking shit. It's just like, what a fucking loser's paradise. Just actually.
God.
Anyways, that's all the time we have. That'll
Yeah.
wrap things up. We gotta get to playing some video games. So, guys,
Gotta get this EDP felt.
yeah,
off
we gotta
us.
get the shit off our skin and all that. So, yeah, that'll do it. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed, and we will see you guys next video / podcast episode. I don't know. Bye.
Goodbye.